being a creature of the hidden world of the inapt. Unlike Che, however, she seized her new nature and forced it to obey and serve her, just as she did with the Empire itself. Only too late did she discover that, linked inextricably to Che, in making herself the heir apparent to the magical world, she was setting the beetle girl on the same throne. Now, seeing Che as the one true threat to her power, she seeks a source of magical strength that she may claim alone, in order to destroy her rival. Her first step was to take the ghost of Tizimon, freshly driven from Tynesa's mind, and raise it as her unliving bodyguard. Stracer, called the Ant Spider for her mixed blood, cares nothing for magic or for the designs of a distant empress. Even the doings of closer generals and war masters concern her less than surviving the war with skin and friends intact. Not long ago, she was just a student at Collegium's great college, and her decision to enlist in the Coldstone Company is one that has engendered occasional second thoughts, not least when she was facing the Second Army in a disastrous land battle that only the collegiate air power was able to turn around. Her relationship with the scholar Eugen Leadswell has suffered, as he disapproves of her military ambitions, whilst simultaneously forming his own unauthorised student company, in an attempt, she suspects, to prove to her that he can be a soldier too. He should not be a soldier, in her assessment, and neither should their friends, the artificer Garethwy or the rogue wasp Avaric, but, with the Second Army still out there, soldiers are what Collegium needs. Part 1. Gates of the Green. We have fallen, we will rise again. Motto of the Free Minan Resistance. Prologue. He had never seen the sea, but the vast expanse of green beneath him was what he imagined the sea to be like. Back home in the Empire, there were no forests like this. The wasps had no use for them. Such places were grown to harbour sedition and inferior kindern. Trees in the Empire behaved themselves, planted in neat rows, ready for axe and saw. For Hanto, this endless, wind-rolled canopy reminded him only of the war in the Commonweal. He was just old enough to have seen the last years of it. There had been so much wasted land up in the north, untilled and uncut. There had been forests like this, where the Mantis kindern lurked, against which the armies of the Emperor had broken when they first marched forth. Only the first time, though. After that, they had destroyed each knot of stubborn resistance with fire and the sword, with the ingenuity of war machines and the cunning infiltration of the pioneers. And that was where Hanto came in. He had been barely more than a boy in that war. Now he was a veteran, and the army had called him up to take on this new challenge. He had been flying for too long, letting that unrelieved green ocean pass beneath him, and now he let himself drop, coming down lightly in the top reaches of the canopy, still without any useful intelligence to bring back to his masters. Crouched in the branches, beneath the shadow of the leaves, he scanned the ground far below with his strung shortbow at the ready. Not a snapbow, not for Hanto. He was of that minority of fly-kindern, the inapt. Crossbows and all the other paraphernalia of the modern war were a closed book to him. His early life had been a hard one, all taunts and closed doors, but there were compensations. A place like this, an old place, an inapt place that had preserved its secrets for centuries. His apt comrades would never get this far, not for all their craft. Stealth here was a matter of blending in, and any of the apt would stand out by 1,000 years of hostile progress. Not that Hanto was feeling particularly welcome right now.